Now, there are plenty of risks in a novation or an agreement to rehab and sell. Who pays the mortgage? Who pays utilities? What insurance policy is on it? Do I have power of attorney? Can I execute most documents except the final transfer documents on their behalf? Can I place a lien on their property to secure my interest in case they revoke my power of attorney? Fraught with risks. You need to understand the process and the risks. Ooh, novation. Let's turn the lights on. It's not that mysterious. When I talk to sellers, I don't use the word novation. Agreement to rehab and sell. And if you're a flipper, this is a fantastic way to get in with way less cash. Hey, let me just make your mortgage payments for the next 60 days. Here's my portfolio of projects I've already completed. I can get you your price, and then I'll keep what's left. Now, if you're actually not even doing any rehab, you get it under contract, you put it on the MLS, you may have to have the power of attorney to do that. It may also be known as wholesale, subtail, if I get an agreement to take it over, subject to, and then I go retail it on the MLS. Or for realtors, it may also be known as a net listing. Very similar, they all fall in the same area, but it's like different levels of makeup and different styles. This is one of the hot topics lately. Literally, it's swapping out somebody or some term in the contract at the end. You agree to initial terms, you have to deliver on your initial terms, but you're allowed to swap out for a different buyer with additional terms on top, as long as you honor your base level terms. Let's talk about the finances on this. Who's ever met a seller who's too high? When a seller's too high, but you could make some money if you fix it up a little bit. But borrowing capital is going to cost you 10 grand up front. And then you got to borrow 200 grand to take it down, plus closing costs. And then the rehab on top of that, before you can sell it for potentially a slim profit. It's too risky. So what if I can get a private lender in just for the rehab? Or if I have enough cash to do the rehab? Now, there are plenty of risks in a novation or an agreement to rehab and sell. Who pays the mortgage? Who pays utilities? What insurance policy is on it? Do I have power of attorney? Can I execute most documents except the final transfer documents on their behalf? Can I place a lien on their property to secure my interest in case they revoke my power of attorney? Fraught with risks. You need to understand the process and the risks. But there's a lot that can be done there quite profitably. And those can be fast or long. Good question. So where would somebody live during a novation? I wouldn't really want them living in the property unless it's just like one room that needs fixed up and you've got a contractor that can do an in-house rehab. So set moving out dates and things like that. Sometimes they're already vacant, or sometimes somebody just needs permission to move. Like you've pre-sold it, it's under contract. They know that it's going to be done and they have an agreement from you to pay the mortgage in the meantime. If you have cash, that's great. If you need to place a second and or third position lien on that property, you need to close on it sub 2 so that you have full authority to do that. And then you only need the capital to close and to rehab. And in a novation, generally you're not giving a pile of cash to the seller up front. It's only when you finish selling at the end. Okay. So in a sub 2, if you got 25K cash to seller, you got to come up with that cash plus closing costs plus rehab, maybe 75K. In a novation, the seller agrees to take maybe a little bit more cash, maybe 30, 40K, and maybe too high, I don't know. But they agree to take that much, but then you only have to bring the rehab and some miscellaneous transaction costs, and then your buyer pays closing costs, and your buyer brings in a new loan and pays off the whole thing.
So what's the counterbalance you have as leverage to make sure they on their side of the transaction? I mean, you're dumping 10 grand into the property, even if it's just sweat equity, you're putting 10 grand material. Right?
So in our contract, we get them to agree to 150% of the expected. So this is plus or minus. It's a negotiation, but they agree to place a lien in our favor because we're about to spend money and effort. I say we. I work other people's deals. They agree to place a lien in our favor for that amount. So even if they back out or cancel or do something trashy, we at least have a lien position and can foreclose or whatever.